And welcome to the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We've had some great interviews, past episodes. You heard from the teams behind Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, the Doge Pound, Oni Force, Crypto Dads, Wall Street Bulls, Sappy Seals, and more. We also did an NFT giveaway, and we got more giveaways and NFT merch planned for the future. On today's episode, Brian and I are going to be talking all the latest news and mints in NFT land and providing you guys with the education and the stories that we know and that we'd love to talk to you guys about. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is the Roadmap. What's up, everyone? Yeah, as you heard me say, this is the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by FTX US, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world in terms of trading volume and daily users. The FTX app is used by over 6 million people to buy crypto and NFTs with no transaction or withdrawal fees. You can use your phone or computer. And the FTX US trading platform also offers Ethereum and Solana NFTs, no gas fees. You can find out more by clicking on the link in the description below and also pinned to the chat and sign up for an account to get started. So again, a big shout out to our friends at FTX for sponsoring today's episode. Without further ado, I think it's time to bring on my co-host, Brian Moir. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, having tech issues again, so we're in the living room one more time. One more again.
You know, it feels like a Monday with all the issues going on. It's not. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. For anyone who tuned in yesterday, you may have heard me say that we were going to have an interview today. We have a change of plans, but that doesn't mean that the show stops, right? The roadmap goes on no matter what. So no interview today, Brian, but we're going to break down some news and take a look at some projects. But on that interview front, I just want to tease a little bit. Not going to drop the names yet, Brian, but over the next couple weeks, maybe we'll do some hints, some clues. But I'm getting pretty excited about some of these guests that we are booking. I mean, I've already been able to talk to some of the top teams out there, but you take a look at like the top 30, top 25 NFT projects by all time, and at least two that are in the top 30 have interviews scheduled on the roadmap coming up soon. So Brian, without dropping the names here, are you getting pretty excited for some of these upcoming interviews?
I mean, yeah. Some of them are going to be big. It's going to be
big.
Huge. You do not want to miss them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as Brian said, they're big, they're huge. And then also a reminder, tomorrow we have the Flower Girls coming on. That is a very exciting female-led project. Again, those projects are getting a ton of attention. They recently signed a media deal with Dolphin Entertainment. The potential of a TV show, movies, more entertainment products. Really cool, really exciting artwork. We took a look at it yesterday, I believe, in the news. But stay tuned. Tomorrow, we do have that interview coming up with the Flower Girls. Brian, well, let's kick it off into the news today. And this one's pretty exciting because, again, as someone who works for Benzinga, I've covered, the stock market with Benzinga, also covered the stock market for other financial news sites. I'm always excited when we kind of see the bridge from stocks to NFTs or stocks to crypto. And today we got an announcement that public.com is acquiring Otis. And if you don't know what Otis is one of the fractional investing sites. So they offer NFTs, art, and collectibles, similar to Collectible and Rally, NFTs, sports cards, sports memorabilia, cars, and other products. Well, Public offers stock trading and crypto investing. So pretty soon, Brian, we're going to have one platform, public, where you will be able to set up an account. You'll be able to buy stocks, crypto, NFTs, sports memorabilia, and more. I mean, that seems like a pretty big deal that we're getting, all of this into one platform. What do you think of this news?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big. Having everything in one place is always exciting, and one of my favorite things. I like whenever you find a new tool to use, be it NFT, stock trading, or anything that incorporates everything that you use on a daily basis. It's like Christmas, and it's my favorite thing ever is to find these tools or create them. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, for those of you who don't know, fractional investing, again, is kind of opening up a new wave of investors to the NFT space, right? So take a big NFT, for example, like a Bored Ape. So I can't buy a Bored Ape, right? But I have this, thesis or belief that the price of Bored Apes is going to go up over the next couple of years. So I want a piece of that pie. Well, I can
Mhm.
get onto a platform like, Rally, Collectible, Otis, and I can buy shares in a Bored Ape, right? So on my Rally portfolio, Brian, I own stakes in, I think, like 5 Bored Apes now, a Mutant Ape, 2 Crypto Punks, and I feel like something else. I think I missed out on the Doodles when that was on there. They do have a
Yeah,
World
I
of
have a
Women
Chromie Squiggle
coming this
myself.
week. Oh, you got the Chromie Squiggle.
Yeah,
I
I have
missed out on
fractional
that.
shares of
They
those.
did Damien Hirst recently too. Uh, so I got to take a look at Otis and check out what NFTs they have on there. I know they actually did one, a sale of one of Grimes, Elon Musk ex-girlfriend, her NFT on Otis, and some others. But fractional investing is really cool because, again, it's bringing, people who don't have the money to get into a big project, the opportunity to kind of invest along. So that's pretty exciting. Well, Brian, what do you think of this news item that you just shared with me? I was trying to flip through it. Um, if we can pull that up. So Adobe out with news, tapping Polygon to scale NFT functionality in Behance social platform. I love this line here. The integration will allow Behance users to mint directly onto OpenSea while avoiding higher fees on Ethereum. Brian, what do you make of this news?
So I just saw it too, and that's why I right when I linked it to you, it's really really cool because this is going to open up the window to a ton of creators, and I don't know if anyone, or I'm sure a lot of people on here know what Adobe is, have used Photoshop or used something like Premiere Pro or anything. If you do any content creation or any digital art or anything like that, you know what Adobe is and you've probably used their software. This definitely opens the doors to a lot more artists, and we'll see a lot more creativity coming from the Adobe ecosystem because of course, with Polygon, you have very, very little gas fees, almost really, really fast, almost instant transactions, kind of depending. But also you have a more reason to kind of get into Polygon slash Matic because Adobe is probably the number one resource and tool that creators use. So you're opening the floodgates to millions and millions of content creators, and now giving them a opportunity to tokenize their work, to maybe make something for their own community. It's the possibilities are endless. This is really really cool and big news in my opinion.
Yeah, and you said a lot there, Brian, right? Adobe, of course, the owner of Photoshop, that's huge, huge platform. I think you're spot on. We're going to see more artists using this. And, that has been one of kind of the drawbacks of OpenSea, right? Is it's very heavy on Ethereum. Um, and there's so many other blockchains that people can use. Of course, our sponsor FTX, offers Solana and Ethereum NFTs. And when the Coinbase platform launches, there's talks that they're going to include several different blockchains. So now, this kind of integration with Polygon on OpenSea, and again, it's not, officially from OpenSea, but the fact that you'll be able to, mint directly with Polygon. I just think that's huge. And I was taking a look. It looks like Matic is up about 3% today. Not sure if it's related to this news or just overall strength. But Polygon is one of those coins, that's starting to be more and more used in the NFT space. I know DraftKings, right?
Mhm.
DraftKings, one of the leaders in sports betting. They're going to use Polygon for their upcoming NFTs that they're going to release next year, kind of almost like as a fantasy football platform, and a sports NFT,
Yeah.
and
A lot of people
just a
don't really
lot.
realize that it does your project does not have to be on the Ethereum blockchain to be successful. And we've seen that. We're seeing a bunch of projects in the top 10 that are not on Ethereum, and they're actually on things like Avalanche and different blockchains like Flow and stuff like that, where you have top shots. But I think people like the name recognition when it comes to Ethereum, but I think soon we're going to see this like interoperability where, it doesn't matter what blockchain you're on, you can talk to different ones. But hopefully we're going to beat this stigma that if it's not on Ethereum, it means nothing or it's a scam, blah, 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 because there's scams everywhere. But Ethereum isn't the only blockchain that needs to be used. There's so many different ones. There's a lot of there's quicker ones, there's less fee ones, as we can see. And just because something's not on Ethereum doesn't mean it's successful and the people behind it are cheap or anything like that. That they're looking out for their community, their users, and their use case is all different for each blockchain. So just always keep that in mind. Just because it's not on Ethereum doesn't mean that it's going to be a badass, really awesome project.
Yeah, and Brian, along with that, lower transaction fees coming from Polygon, but the other takeaway here too is they have a lower carbon footprint, and that's something that kind of comes and goes in the crypto and the NFT space, right? Sometimes we get this hot debate of, is crypto bad for the environment? Are NFTs bad for the environment? But you take a look at Polygon versus Ethereum, where you have, lower fees and you also have, lower carbon footprint. It seems kind of like a win-win there, along the ESG, morality, so to speak here.
Agreed.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that, Brian. Again, that's pretty big news. We'll keep an eye on that, see if we can, find more details on what exactly that means, maybe what OpenSea has to say, because OpenSea is always so responsive, right? But anyways, wanted to take a look at some projects today. And again, if you're here, if you've never been a viewer or a listener of the roadmap, we're here to talk, education, but also highlight some upcoming projects. Go ahead and smash that like right now if you're here. And also let us know you're here watching live if you are in the chat by leaving a comment. And then maybe also let us know a project under 0.25 Ethereum floor price that you are looking at, or one that has not minted, and maybe we'll try to get to some at the end of the show. You go ahead, drop this link in your Discord. You guys can, flood the chat. We're more than happy to have you guys come and shill those projects today on this episode. Well, Brian, up first, we've got Bubblegum Kids. I don't know if you know this one. I actually minted a couple of these months ago. I sold out. I am not in this project at all. It was one that I saw some traders that I follow in the stock market realm mention it on Twitter and change their profile picture, etc. So we have a floor price of 0.11 right now. And they already actually did a companion drop, which was Bubblegum Puppies, which those have an even smaller floor price here. I think, 0.03. If you scroll down here, you can take a look at some of these puppies. They're actually pretty cute here. Brian, you're a dog owner. I feel like this project here, has got you written all over it. But so Bubblegum Kids, they already delivered on their first roadmap. They will be unveiling a roadmap tomorrow, their new roadmap. We take a look at the picture here. It says help portal technician needed, roadmap 2.0, March 10th. Brian, that was a lot of talking. I'll let you butt in here. So first off, did you know about Bubblegum Kids?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you think so far of Bubblegum Kids, Bubblegum Puppies, the artwork and the style here?
I definitely like the style. I mean, it's not something I would, I guess, wear or put in my house or something like that, but I do like it. They're adorable, but also pretty well done. Like they're kind of, I mean, well, I was gonna say they're kind of like new wave or more like a there was a certain aesthetic I was trying to think of, but I can't think of it now. But it's not. They're kind of all over the place. But one thing I wanted to say, maybe we can answer JR's question on what does minted mean, and you can kind of tell them exactly what you think. Well, what minting is.
Yeah,
What's the difference
absolutely.
between minting and buying on OpenSea?
Absolutely. So JR, shout out to you. Great question in the chat. Yeah. So Bubblegum Kids, when they had their release, so when you have your initial project goes live, you offer the NFTs for sale via your website most often. And what happens then is that people can go to your website and they can mint the project. And that is the initial sale of the NFTs. If you're familiar with the stock market, it's similar to an IPO, right? It's that initial offering where you sell out your collection or hope to sell out your collection. So I minted, which means I was the first owner of those particular assets. And then they show up later on OpenSea, they're in your wallet, and then people who were not able to mint can buy them what's this called the secondary market, which is typically OpenSea, where you can go and buy from people who have already, minted the collection, and those who have minted can also sell. So that is what minted means. The two main ways to get NFTs are to mint or to buy from the secondary market. JR, I hope that answered your question here.
I'm going to go a little bit
Go
deeper
ahead.
on a kind of a more technical level too. This, not to get too confusing, but just to kind of give more context and really explain what NFTs are. So an NFT also, people think of NFTs as the artwork. They think that the NFT itself is the actual image that you get, and that is not true. An NFT is a non-fungible token. So you're actually getting a quote unquote token like you would do where you're getting a crypto coin, like if you own one Bitcoin or one Ether, which is the token, the coin that is on Ethereum. If you own one of those, the same thing as owning one Bored Ape Yacht Club. You own one BAYC token actually. And what happens is the image data 9 times out of 10 is hosted on something like IPFS, where they can host and the image data can always be pulled, and then it'll populate in something like OpenSea or in your MetaMask to show the image that you have. But you really have a token. So what you're doing is you're minting the token. You own the token once you buy it from the website, and then later down the road, it will show and populate that you are the owner of this token, and it'll show the image data and everything like that. It's pretty confusing, and the way Chris said it is a lot easier way to understand it from a very a smaller perspective or a simpler perspective. But also knowing exactly what it is and how they work is pretty important in this space, and kind of leads to less confusion down the road. I know that's a whole lot to kind of take in, but it is important to know how this technology works and what actually is happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for breaking that down. The more detailed technology description. JR, really hope that you got your question
That was a
answered
whole
here.
lot.
Again, so Bubblegum Kids, Brian, I go back to the fact that they already did Roadmap 1.0. They delivered on it, right? They did, I think, a merch drop. They did the puppy mint. They're going to release Roadmap 2.0. So how important is this, when these projects, these teams complete the initial roadmap, right? So when you say, hey, we're going to launch this project, we're going to do our mint, this is our roadmap. Do they have an obligation to keep delivering past that initial roadmap Is this a bonus for holders? Is this to keep the project going? What do you make of, kind of roadmap 2.0 versus roadmap, 1.0, or the initial roadmap?
I mean, I don't think anyone has any obligation to really anybody or anything, because it's not like, it's just hard to explain with these kind of projects. But I think it's to keep the project alive and to give back to the holders and give them something to be excited about. Because one thing that happens with a lot of these projects and why they fail with cryptocurrencies as well is because they don't really give anything to the users after the initial hype and the initial excitement of what they have. The more utility and more function that your product has, the more people want to get it and utilize it. And then you also run the, you run kind of a scarcity and a FOMO aspect, where if I don't have it, then I won't be a part of this whole thing. So adding more functionality, adding more items to the roadmap and everything is always a good thing. I would never say it's a negative thing. I'd say that they're trying to get their more holders in and more people holding for the longer term too. Because with these NFTs, it's not, you don't really want people constantly trading. I mean, that's how you get the volume up, but that's not really how you retain and hold users or have holders. So adding more functionality and adding more items to the roadmap is a way to get them to come back and, be excited to be part of the community.
Yeah, all excellent points. Again, I like when these teams, they're able to deliver on that initial roadmap and then they launch a second roadmap, right? I think it shows, longevity in the project. It shows that they're not just going to, walk away with the cash, and that holders have something to look forward to. So, I love when I am scrolling through Twitter and I see an announcement like that, right? Roadmap 2.0 coming on March 10th. And I put it, I write it down in my notebook. And I say, all right, like March 10th, going to take a look and see what the roadmap says. Or if it's a project I've been watching, I say, hey, wait a sec, maybe this could run going into the roadmap, launch. So not financial advice, but that's something, where maybe if it's a project you're watching, you get into before the roadmap's unveiled. Because let's say they talk about, a token or an airdrop. Sometimes you can see a mini run on the project. So something to watch. But again, I don't own any of these. I minted them. I sold them. But watching from the sidelines. And again, tomorrow we get that unveil of the roadmap. Not sure what time. If it is before our episode tomorrow, we'll try to bring you the details here live on the show. Moving right along, we have another project trading under 0.2 ETH, the floor. It actually had its public sale yesterday. Brian, this is one that I've been following along on Twitter. I didn't even try to mint. Super Ordinary Villains. So they had their pre-sale on March 8th, their public mint on March 9th. We have a floor of 0.115. It's a collection of 8,888 generative NFTs made up of super villains. So again, I don't know a ton about like roadmap or any. Oh, it already jumped 0.12. See, but they just did their public mint yesterday, so we're still unveiled, right? They have not revealed the artwork. Not sure when that is either. But if we look at their Twitter, they've released some photos. They're kind of cool looking, Brian. I'm kind of drawn in, but again, I don't know a ton about the roadmap or anything. If anyone out there knows, let me know, or otherwise we can reach out to the team. But Brian, what do you think of, this project, or what do you know about it?
I don't know anything about this one actually, but I like that 90s vibe.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of what drew me in, right? I like the colors. I like that, they're calling them villains. Even though I don't know if I would like necessarily classify them as like your typical villain, hence the name Super Ordinary Villains. They've been sharing, all kinds of different images over the past couple weeks. They've been doing some kind of promo videos with some pop culture references, just kind of like, yeah, I mean, here you can see like an old like TV infomercial, the 1-800 number. Just kind of clever. And I'm drawn into something like that. So I got to take a look, find out.
Is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna call it, but
I'm about to.
you about to call it? I feel like it's, I don't know. If you were launching an NFT, Brian, would you use a real number? Would you use like a company's number? Would you buy your own 1-800 line and answer it?
The
Like,
number you have dialed has been disabled.
oh, there you go, disabled.
Nothing.
I guess the villains are out working, Brian, and they can't come to the phone right now. Yeah. All right. Well, again, this is a cool project. I just wanted to bring it up. Under 0.2. Yeah, I love these ads that they're doing. What was that other one we talked about, Brian, with the sheets, the like spreadsheets that battle each other?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called.
Battle.
Not battle sheets. I wanted to say that, but a sheet.
That
sheet fighter.
Right, though.
Sheet fighter.
Sheet fighter.
Oh, they're down to 0.05, but that's what these commercials remind me of. Is they did like some infomercials, of like, their upcoming game and stuff. But yeah, so that is Super Ordinary Villains. Again, we wanted to highlight some projects under 0.2. Speaking of 0.2, Loser Club, which we looked at yesterday. This one is trading right at 0.2, I believe. Just under now. This one, I still just, Brian, I don't know. I feel like this one's got a chance to see a run here, maybe. The fact that, we're getting other artists supporting it. I'm seeing lots of people mention it on Twitter. The artist has been very active, doing some live drawing sessions. I don't know. I feel like this one has got some room here.
Some pizzazz.
Oh, and did I just find a Loser Club Fang Gang? Uh-oh. Check that one out, Alyssa. Look at that. Look at that Loser Club Fang Gang.
That's got Alyssa's name written all over it.
That is pretty sweet. I don't know if that's a trait. I wonder if that's a trait or if that is like a special, let's see. I don't even know what you would call that. How do you even, I don't know how you would find that.
Or was that just a Twitter? It might have just been.
Yeah, someone posted it on Twitter. Trying to see if that is like a trait, but
Ron.
that looks sweet. So Brian, I feel like
they added that.
I feel like you think they added that. Is that not real?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it looks like someone like photoshopped it.
Well,
shout out Adobe again.
Yeah, we did look at some yesterday, and I think like there was some lemon traits and some others.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what do you think of this? If you're like an NFT artist, let's say it's your first collection, but you've owned and collected NFTs for a while. You want to pay tribute. Do you think that's like the right call to do some of these traits? Do you think you have to reach out to the team and ask for permission, to make sure you don't get like a DMCA request? Do you offer whitelist to the project? What do you think?
It all depends on what their what they allow you to do once you own the NFT, I guess. Because a lot of projects say, hey, you own all the rights to this. So if that's the case, then I guess anyone can do whatever they want. If they don't, I don't know. It's a weird gray area.
It really is, and we saw that with crypto Moris, right? That's the biggest example of recent memory, where they got pulled from OpenSea. They got delisted for a while, and the reason they did was that there was an artist who claimed that one of their traits had been copied from his existing artwork. And OpenSea, not to talk down on them, but they essentially have a policy of, take action now, ask questions later.
I think that's any company's policy. I mean, PayPal is one of the biggest people who are companies that does this. They'll give the money back to anybody, and then you worry about it later.
Yeah, which is great if you're the customer, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not so good if you're the company. Good example there, Brian. But yeah, I mean, if I'm an artist and I feel like I want to launch a project, like I feel like I want to incorporate, some traits from other projects, pay tribute, but I almost feel like I would like reach out first, right? And is that another one?
Yeah,
Brian,
see,
this
that's the
has
same.
got to be a trait. That's a
Yeah, it
trait.
must be one. Yeah, Alyssa says it is.
Oh shit, this is sweet. All right, well, Alyssa's probably shopping right now in the background, getting her Fang Gang on. But that's a sweet trait, Brian. I mean, again, like incorporating these other projects, I'm drawn to it, and I feel like it brings people to your collection, right? Because then, if you can get the artist of Fang Gang to post about it, right? I mean, again, it's not like you're like counting on that and you need that, but if they do, it brings new eyeballs to your mint or your collection. So I really like that.
Did we talk about Furball? Someone brought up in the chat, and I just brought up their website. It looks pretty cool.
Let's talk about Furballs. I know I looked at this one before. It's been a little while though. I'm seeing 0.67 on OpenSea. I'm seeing 7,337.67.
Jeez.
And let's see,
we can rent them. That's pretty cool, kind of like Axie, I guess.
Oh yeah, so this is full on, yeah. Play to earn game, Brian. You know how I feel about play to earn. Sign me up.
You gotta be in their Discord. I mean, they know what they're doing, huh?
Explore battle voyages, bosses. Yeah. Man, I have not taken a look at this in a while, and I'm gonna have to do it now. So, I mean, yeah, you got like full on game mode videos here on their website. That's pretty sweet. Look at that, Brian, right there, like that image, like beating the boss. Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet. Theodore in the chat, so asking about Furballs, is this a project that you currently own? If so, tell us more about it. Do you own more than one? Can you, get started by only owning one? Do you have to own a couple like you do on Axie? Let us know. Otherwise, we'll probably figure it out here in a minute from their website. But how many followers we got? I mean, that's a pretty big following too. So thanks for checking them out. Tag me in their Discord for more info. All right. So Theodore, yeah,
I'm in the Discord now. If you are Theodore, I will holler at your boy.
Let's get us. We're gonna have to try to get Furballs on. I mean, Brian, we've talked a lot about play to earn. I'm always curious to hear more. See, like that looks sweet. Like, I mean, yeah, like this, it reminds me a lot of like Axie, but I feel like it's got more of like the art element to it, and I feel like it's a little bit like, I don't know how else to say it, but like newer looking than the Axies. But yeah. No, this is cool. Yeah. So Theodore, thanks for bringing that up. See, and they all have weapons. Like I saw, like, yeah, pencil asparagus. We got a match. Oh yeah. See, we got some rares here.
I'm tagging you right now, Theodore. I don't know your name, so I'm gonna put at.
I'm thinking it's at TF111 because that's how the post was ended there. Brian.
It's your boy. I said at Theodore.
You can start by owning one. There are different leaderboards when boss battles come out. Teams of 1, 3, and 5. I own 18-ish. All right. Well, Theodore owns 18 of them, Brian. 0.67 though. Might have to get started. Might have to get one of these and start playing the game. And then so you earn. What is it? You earn the fur token, right? So I'm assuming that you can buy and sell fur as well on some of these platforms, and also renting out your fur balls. How much? I wonder how much they cost to rent.
It said you gotta do the whole scholar thing, and I don't know. It seems pretty cool.
So that's similar to Axie with the scholars, yeah. See, that's me. I feel like Brian, I feel like I would buy one. I'd play for a while. And then when I got bored with the game and move on to my next game, then I'd be like, oh, I can rent these out. So instead of like completely selling out of the project, I can rent, have someone else do the work for me.
Yeah, and be like staking it.
Yeah, exactly. See, I love that. All right.
Theodore, I see you. I see this little furball action.
Yeah. No, that's sweet. So play to earn, Brian. I mean, we've talked about it for so long. These play to earn games are just growing and growing. And I mean, another example here of one where you can, buy in and earn money along the way through several means, right? Either, renting, selling the token, selling your NFTs, different ways. Renting is free. Scholarship sign up is happening now. More details coming soon. Oh, Brian, see? More details. All right. Well, Theodore, thanks for sharing that in the chat. I mean, this is a cool one. Brian, wanted to get to some more news here. A project that we talk about, often talk about a lot. Hopefully, no one ever gets tired of me mentioning, of course, Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? So, over the past couple days, we did get a couple bigger sales, and one was big because of the amount, and the other one was big because of who bought the NFT. So let's start with the big purchase. An account, nobody.eth, who is a big Bored Ape holder, bought Bored Ape number 3666, which is a 6-trait golden brown fur ape, blindfold, army hat, black suit. It's the number 1,378th most rare, and he paid 250 ETH, $636,000. The same user already owns one that he spent 1.8 million on, which was a gold fur ape, which we of course know how rare those are. So after this purchase, now Nobody is the 24th largest ape holder. He owns 14 Bored Apes, worth at least 8.0 million, according to Evaluate. He also has 10 mutant apes, 3 Bored Ape Kennel Club dogs, 10 M1 mutant serums, and 5 M2 mutant serums. Brian, 250 ETH, that's a pretty decent purchase here. We actually saw the floor price of Bored Apes kind of come down. Are you surprised, that people are still hunting for some of these rarer traits, or you think that's where we're at now, is people that want to get in and buy more Bored Apes are now, paying more attention to the traits versus the floor price?
That's such a hard question because I really don't know. I mean, I think people are going to try to get Bored Apes wherever they can. I don't think that they're ever going away. I think that they are just going to be like CryptoPunks and continue to be the forefront of NFTs and be the main blue chip that everyone aspires to be. I think that soon we're going to see some more projects like Bored Apes that are going to shatter these records and ceilings and everything. It's just who knows who's going to be on top and what the next fad will be. What the next big thing is going to happen in this space. It's so crazy because at 1 week you can become a millionaire just by being in this random Discord and you're all about this project, and then the next week if you don't sell out, you're still rich, but you're not nearly as what you were, and then the following month you find the same thing again. It's who knows. Oh man, I just got these projects.
Right. And the blindfold trait, it looks like there's 264 with the blindfold. Brian, I don't know. Like, I feel like I've looked at a lot of Bored Ape traits, and I feel like the blindfold one isn't one I see that often. And I don't know if it's one, that personally, like, I'm in love with here. I don't know. Like, I feel like it almost takes away a little bit from, actually seeing the eyes and the traits. What do you think of a blindfold trait here?
I'll be honest, I'm pretty indifferent to it. To me, each one of these, since they're such a high level, such the typical blue chip, and on the floor price is so ridiculous, I'd be super thankful just to have one. It doesn't matter what it is.
Let alone 14. Yeah. Or like our friend Franklin, who's back up to 37 again now.
It's unfathomable.
You got it.
To think about, it's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, all right, Brian, we also got word that I want to call him a celebrity. I don't know if he jumps out as like an A-lister, but Sinester Gates, who is the guitarist for Avenged Sevenfold, a band, he bought another Bored Ape. this week. So
they have their own NFT project.
They do have their own NFT project. And Brian, I didn't know this, but he actually already previously owned some Bored Ape NFTs here. So let me break down. He bought Bored Ape number 7220 for 75 ETH. That wasn't very far off the floor. Take a look at this one, Brian. I mean, that's a floor ape. And again, no blindfold. He's got kind of like the VR instead, the beanie, the red fur, the skeleton. Like, I feel like I like this one more, even though it costs less. But again, that's kind of what, the difference of traits and the, difference of opinions in terms of rarity here. What do you think of this floor ape that he bought?
The old flape?
Yeah, the flape. Is that a phrase? If not, we should
just made it one.
Flape that ETH, flape that soul, Brian. Go.
Flape. Yeah, I actually do kind of like this one.
Yeah, see, I like this one. And wait, is it already listed for sale at 90? Yeah, so he bought it for 75.
We can cover that.
Bought it for 75, and he's like, oh, I'll list it for sale at 90. But Brian, I didn't know this, but along with the one he just bought, he actually owns a couple other Bored Apes, and some of these are some rare ones. He has Bored Ape number 1119, which is a trippy fur ape. And if you don't know, for any of our listeners and viewers, there it is. Trippy fur is one of the rarest traits in Bored Apes NFTs. Let me try to find the fur here. Trippy. There's 77, Brian, in the collection. And the floor price right now on Trippy fur, 255. And he bought it for 25 ETH months ago.
Shoot.
How about that? I mean, who needs to make music and who needs to go on tour? With that. And he also, I'm a big fan of when people do this, right? With Bored Apes, Bored Ape Kennel Club, Mutant Apes, where they kind of own the set. He also has a trippy fur dog. Look at that. Doesn't that look sweet?
Yeah, and I always forget about the old Kennel Club.
See, and Kennel Club's the cheapest one right now to get into the ecosystem. So like when the Ape tokens launched, if Kennel Club gets access to that, I still feel like that's the way to go. 5.69 floor right now. I mean, if someone buys my Wonder Pal, I mean, I'd be like halfway there. Brian, I do. Well, and Alyssa, I do have an update on my Wonder Pal. Are you ready for this?
Spit it.
I got a new offer this morning.
Shoot.
So
Let me guess. All right.
I have it listed at 3. What's your guess?
2.5.
2.2.
Ooh, I was close.
It's the same person that previously offered 1.9.
He wants it.
So we're getting up there.
Okay.
So, hey, if you're watching the show, if I forgot your name now, but if you're watching the show, keep going. You're getting closer. You're getting warmer. I might let go below 3, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
So, but 2.2 is the current high offer on it. So, I mean, I wish I was able to sell and, get a Kennel Club because, the more I think about that is sweet. But yeah, 2.2, it's still there. When's it expire? I feel like I don't have, we got a little bit of time, but yeah. So I'm still just kind of, watching, seeing what happens. But that was the email I got this morning, Brian, was you got a new offer. And I was like, all right, let's hear it. 2.2. So getting there. All right. Well, so that was the Avenged 7 full guitar player. Again, the trippy Bored Ape, the trippy fur dog. He also bought that new Bored Ape. Brian, South by Southwest is happening soon. And that's like kind of like a music and art festival that's been going on for years. And it's also starting to trend and get, some NFTs there, right? Mm-hmm. So there's going to be several of the bigger NFT projects that have a presence at South by Southwest. I've already seen a couple press releases, a couple embargoes on some I can't even talk about publicly yet. But one of them that shared on Twitter is Doodles. So Doodles put out a post and they said March 12th activation opens, March 13th fireside chat, March 14th, closing party with unrevealed guest. What do you think, Brad? I mean, first off, this picture looks sweet, right? That they're doing like this whole land at South by Southwest in Texas. Exit through the gift shop, talking Doodles, secret musical performance, holder exclusive live stream. So like in order to even get into part of this, you have to own a Doodle and also maybe to attend that concert. What do you think, Brian? We saw this with Bored Apes, right? Where they did that concert with some artists, and they also had some comedians, and you had to own a Bored Ape to get in. Is that a new trend that we're going to continue to see at these bigger festivals, like Doodles offering this for their holders?
I think so. I hope so. I think that's really, really cool. I really like that aspect. You know, it gives you extra incentive to hold,
Right.
and Doodles are probably my favorite artwork, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I still love that color, and I feel like they were one of the first to ever do the pastel colors like that, right? And you know, we've seen lots of derivatives, you know, and I just really feel like the color is awesome. And that is another project that I wish I was in, and you know, just haven't been able to get in yet. But you know, with that being said, Doodles is going to have a huge presence at South by Southwest. Brian, real quick, we're starting to wrap up here. And again, guys in the chat, let us know if there's any more projects you want us to look at if you're watching us live right now. And we talked yesterday about Boss Beauty's role models, right? The celebrity, the historical figures that they are doing via auction. So the auction kicked off this morning at 10 a.m. and it goes until March 12th. So if we scroll through now, Brian, we have some bids on these projects. So, you know, we're seeing 0.1 on Amelia Earhart is in last place. Sorry, Amelia Earhart. And then some of these other ones have a minimum bid or a top bid of 1. But I didn't even scroll all the way to the bottom. But Brian, I want to see if we were right. Who has the highest bids so far? Because so far we're just seeing 1s, right?
Mhm.
It is still early. Bids just started at 10 a.m. today. So maybe, is that our highest bid so far is 1 ETH then? Man, these might be more affordable than I thought. I mean, we do have like 3 days, Brian. What do you think? You think people are just waiting this out to bid on this? Or do you think maybe we don't see, you know, as much interest or as high a bids as, you know, you and I kind of thought on this project?
Honestly, I think it could be the latter. I think that we might not see, you know, some crazy numbers that we thought originally. I mean, who knows? It's so subjective that it could be anything.
Yeah, and I mean they're one of ones. They're from a, you know, an artist, a collection that's already been out there. They've got, you know, a decent following. So I feel like I'm a little surprised that some of them haven't gone, you know, higher. Not to say that they're all gonna go for, you know, 10 to 20 ETH. But you know, I really feel like some of the other ones could go higher than this. I mean, Brian, I don't have enough to bid on a bunch of these, but I mean, part of me wants to take a look at some of these at that 1 ETH. I don't know. All right. Well, it looks like I see another one in the chat. I don't know if I know this project at all. Colt and Rain. Might have to help us out here in the chat with some more. Oh, I think I found it. Bash and crypto brand merging NFTs. All right. So we already have a project out, 0.265, 1,400. Physical sneaker redemption window is now closed. No more physical sneakers. Huh. See, so this is okay. Brian, I'm starting to see this a couple places now. I remember seeing a drop from an artist that designed some Nike shoes, did one with the University of Oregon, I think, where you got an NFT of the sneaker and then you also got a redemption to get a physical shoe, or maybe a set of 2. I guess I don't know if it was a pair or one. What do you think of that though? Like these fashion brands, you know, and also the, you know, companies like this doing the physical redemption along with the NFT. So you get both. You get to own the NFT and you get the physical. Do you think that's a good way to get holders excited here?
I do. I know that Gap did one, and I bought one of the Gap NFTs. I got the green hoodie, and now I kind of want their collab because if you have the NFT, you get the IRL hoodie that they made. And for the Gap one specifically, you can buy the final form, the one that you need to buy 6 of them, combine them, and then you get like the final form. Then you can get the hoodie, but you can buy the final one on OpenSea, or not OpenSea, but Object. They're the NFT platform they're using because it's on the Tezos blockchain. And it's cheaper than trying to buy all 6 and then put them all together. So I might just do that, and we'll see. I don't know. But I like this because it's just like the thing we talked about, the Doodles in South by Southwest.
Yep.
You know, you get in real life item if you are a holder of this certain NFT. And I think that's awesome. I'm all about it. I think that brings hype. I think that brings a lot more utility. And I think that, you know, another aspect that they could try to do is say your NFT, you get the in real life product, you can only get one, but if you transfer it, now that person, that other person can get the in real life product too. You know, who knows?
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that because that's the thing. Like we go and we look and it says redemption window has closed. That makes me immediately think that the price is going to drop on these, right? Because if you own the sneaker NFT now, all it is the NFT. The physical aspect's gone. So I kind of like that. But we do see from Glenstone in the chat saying that their next drop is a bomber jacket. So I mean, maybe if you didn't get the shoe, you can still get in and get, you know, other merch. It looks like they're doing head to toe. I do want to hit on this other comment that we got here from GT Nuts in the chat. I believe he's saying 1 ETH. So you talk about 1 ETH like it's nothing. I'm a poor man. I'm in Upland. Upland for me, that's my starter. Wish me luck. All right, so 2 points here. Number 1 ETH is something. It's not nothing.
Yeah,
I can't just go out and buy all of these. But my point with the Boss Beauties was these are one of one pieces. 1 ETH for a one of one really is not that expensive, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, to a normal person, yeah, 1 ETH is still a couple $1,000s. On the Upland front, Brian, I know you've talked about Upland before, so I have the app. I was in there. And I was one of those people who forgot to renew my passport, and I lost my properties in Upland.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
So, like, there was this thing where, like, if you had to renew your passport every 7 days, and if you didn't, you lost your property. And I must have, like, missed my renewal notification. So I don't know. Maybe I was too much of a beginner on it, and I didn't own enough. I was like
I don't
never had
remember that part. I
Oh.
have a bunch of properties myself on Upland,
And they just opened Detroit. I did see that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
'cause they
They're also
started in
Nashville, and
California, right?
I have 2 in California and 2 in Chicago, or I have a bunch in New York and a couple in Chicago. But the ones in California, I have a lot of bids for, and I started out on Upland when it first started, and so I got a bunch of them when they were on like 2,000 or below 2,000 UPX.
I think I paid like 2,200 for a couple.
And now it's ridiculous amounts. I'm pulling mine up to see right now, but yeah, it was one of the first blockchain projects that I did, and it's really one of the only blockchain projects that I know of that's on the EOS blockchain.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty unique, and they've got the mobile app for it, and I mean it was pretty easy to use. But like I said, something about like I either had to like add money, buy more property, or something to become like the next level up, and because I wasn't that next level,
I had to keep. I had to become a pro. Yeah.
Before I became a pro, I had to keep renewing, and Brian, I just missed my window one of those days, and I lost my I think I own two
happens.
properties. So I might just have to start over because
Hmm.
now that they're in Detroit, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like might as well, right? So, all right. Well, shout out to our chat for bringing some of these projects to our attention. Again, we brought you a couple projects trading under 0.2 ETH that are on our radar. That's not financial advice. Brian and I don't own them. Just a couple that we're looking at. And we do have that roadmap coming from Bubblegum Kids tomorrow. And as I mentioned on tomorrow's episode, we will have the Flower Girls. We'll be talking with the team. We'll find out what that deal with Dolphin Entertainment means. Upland did away with that. That's only for new people for free. Yeah, see, so I got screwed because I was, I guess, around when that was a rule, and now it's not. But whatever. You win some, you lose some. But Theodore, thank you as well. And for the shout out here. Again, if you are watching us live on YouTube right now, please smash the like. Please subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel. Brian, we're actually getting close to the 150,000 subscriber milestone on YouTube. I remember when we passed 100,000 subscribers, it was live on Pre-Market Prep one morning. That was pretty cool to see, right? As someone who's worked on the video team, to see, you know, the subscribers take over. And now we're about to hit 150,000. So shout out to anyone who already subscribes. And if you don't, consider helping Benzinga hit that milestone. If you are watching this video after the fact, you can still like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. And also a shout out to all our podcast listeners, which is a growing number out there. So, Brian, some people must not like looking at us while we talk and they just want to hear audio. There's nothing wrong with that. I get it. I get it. So shout out to you guys as well. But that's going to do it for us today. And as I said, tomorrow, the Flower Girls. Brian, anything else to leave us off on today?
No, sir.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Stay tuned. Pre-Market Prep at the close coming up with Joel and Spencer soon, breaking down all the top stock and crypto news. And shout out once again to our friends at FTX for sponsoring today's episode. We will see everyone tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Take